I am back with more poems. So we're just gonna jump into it. This poem is called I Must Remember. I must remember turkey on Thanksgiving, pudding on Christmas, eggs on Easter, chicken on Sunday, fish on Friday, leftovers Monday, but me, I'm such a dunce, I went and ate them all at once. And the picture is important for this one because it has a very large belly. This poem is called The Fourth. Oh, crash, my bash, it's bang, the zang, fourth whoosh, a baroom, July, woo. And it's important to see this poem because you heard a lot of onomatopoeias, but the way the poem is written is it will say, oh my, it's the 4th of July, but there's onomatopoeias in between each word. So you can think of it as like a firework display since we usually set off fireworks on the 4th of July. This poem is called The Farmer and the Queen. She's coming, the farmer said to the owl. Oh, what shall I do? Shall I bow when she comes? Shall I twiddle my thumbs? The owl asked, who? The queen, the royal queen. She'll pass the farm today. Shall I salute? He asked the horse. The horse said nay. Shall I give her a gift? He asked the wren. A lovely memento for her to keep? An egg or a peach or an ear of corn? The wren said cheap. But should I curtsy or should I cheer? Oh, here's her carriage now. What should I do? He asked the dog. The dog said bow. And so he did, and so she passed. Oh, tra-la-la-la-la. She smiled, she did. He told the sheep. The sheep said bah. And then here's a picture to go along with it. So you can tell from that poem that anytime she asked a certain animal, it just said what the sound an animal makes, and she took that as an answer. That's cute. This poem is called Pancake ? Who wants a pancake, sweet and piping hot? Good little Grace looks up and says, I'll take one on top. Who else wants a pancake fresh off the griddle? Terrible Teresa smiles and says, I'll take the one in the middle. And then this makes sense once you see the picture, because if I was to take a pancake from the middle, it's gonna ruin this whole stack. This poem is called Me and My Giant. I have a friend who is a giant, and he lives where the tall weeds grow. He's high as a mountain and wide as a barn, and I only come up to his toe, you know. I only come up to his toe. When the daylight grows dim, I talk with him, way down in the marshy sands, and his ear is too far away to hear, but he still understands. He stands. I know he understands. For we have a called the scratch tap code, and here's what we do. I scratch his toe. Once means hello, and twice means how are you. 3 means does it look like rain? 4 times mean don't cry. 5 times mean I'll scratch you a joke, and 6 times means goodbye, goodbye. 6 times means goodbye. And he answers me by tapping his toe. Once means hello, friend. 2 taps means it's very nice to feel your scratch again. 3 taps means it's lonely in here, with my head in top of the sky. 4 taps means today an eagle smiled as she flew by. 5 taps means oop, I just bumped my head against the moon. 6 means sigh, and 7 means bye, and 8 means come back soon, soon, soon. 8 means come back soon. And then I scratch 1,000 times, and he taps with a bappity bim, and he laughs so hard he shakes the sky. That means I'm tickling him. Rain. I opened my eyes and looked up at the rain, and it dripped in my head and flowed into my brain. And all that I hear as I lie in my bed is a slishety slosh of the rain in my head. I step very softly, I walk very slow. I can't do a handstand, I might overflow. So pardon the wild, crazy thing I just said. It's just not the same since there's rain in my head. This poem is called Snowman. 'Twas the first day of the springtime, and the snowman stood alone, as the winter snows were melting and the pine trees seemed to groan. Ah, you poor smiling, sad snowman, you'll be melting by and by, said the snowman. What a pity, for I'd like to see July. Yes, I'd like to see July, and please don't ask me why, but I'd like to, yes, I'd like to, oh, I'd like to see July. Chirped a robin just arriving. Seasons come and seasons go, and the greatest ice must crumble when its flowers time to grow. And as one thing is beginning, so another thing must die, and there's never been a snowman who has ever seen July. No, they never see July, no matter how they try. No, they never ever, never ever, never see July. But the snowman sniffed his carrot nose and said, "At least I'll try." And he bravely smiled his frosty smile and blinked his black coal eye. And there he stood and faced the sun, a-blazing from the sky, and I really cannot tell you if he ever saw July. Did he ever see July? You can guess as well as I, if he ever, if he never, if he ever saw July. So this concludes our reading of poems from Where the Sidewalk Ends. I hope you enjoyed them. If you want more Shel Silverstein poems, you can find them online. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.